Hi guys, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. And today I'm back with another episode for pageant preparation. But in today's episode, we're not going to be learning what to do in order to win the title, but rather what not to do when you're in a beauty pageant. If you've been competing at pageants for a while now and you haven't been able to win the crown, you're always placing top 10 or top 20, or you're just becoming a runner up and you're not really sure what do you need to do to move that needle, then these are 5 things that could be the reason that you're probably not winning your pageant. Number one, you're waiting to be ready. The most common response I've heard from aspirants when I ask them, why haven't you started competing already? What's holding you back? Is that they mention that they're waiting to be ready. And this could mean physically, mentally, or sometimes even when it comes to their social media pages. You have to understand that if you're going to be waiting for the right time is never going to happen. It's never going to be the best time to compete. The best time is now. If one of your goals in 2024 is to win a pageant, all you have to do is not wait for the right time, but rather give yourself a deadline. Make a decision. Which pageant do you want to compete at in the next few months? And once you have the date for it finalized, you can start working with your preparation backwards. If you're not physically ready, give yourself a timeline rather than hoping that you will at some point be physically fit. If you're not mentally ready, then list down what could be the possible reasons that's holding you back. Self journaling could be a great habit that could help you understand why the dilemma exists. And if you need, reach out to a professional. I take clarity sessions all the time, and this is one of the most common roadmap questions that comes up during those clarity sessions where you want to compete in a pageant, but you're not really sure on how to begin. You're quite confused mentally, and that session is a great way to get the answers to all of your questions because we work on providing you a strategic roadmap, what competitions you should go for, keeping your personalized goals in mind and keeping in mind whether you're a college student or a full time professional or a work at home mom. And a lot of the time, it's not the physical or mental aspect, but it's rather the going public with it and being able to tell people about it aspect. So when it comes to your social media, I only have one thing to say. If you want to have a private profile, then you should probably go work for the CIA. But if you're planning to compete at a pageant, then you need to have a public social media profile. And no, you will never be ready with your social media profile, but rather it's endearing to show your story, to show your journey. Keep all of your old embarrassing moments probably on that social media profile because as a director or as a judge, I would love to be able to see the journey of how you've evolved. I've personally seen that a lot of pageant aspirants take a lot of pressure to be perfect when it comes to social media, but social media is anything but that. You could go all the way down on my social media pages and find how I used to answer questions when I competed at my very first online pageant. And the reason I've never removed any of that content from social media is because that is what my journey is. It makes me who I am. And no, you'll never be ready, but you have to take that first step. Now, this episode comes with some bonus material. Once you finish watching today's video, make sure to click the link in the description box below where you'll find an article talking about 10 more reasons why you're probably not winning your pageant. The second reason you're probably not winning that pageant, despite being prepared, is because maybe you're over prepared, or I call it over rehearsed. This is something that has been changing in beauty pageants over the last couple of years. And the last thing that organizers want is for you to have memorized your speech, to have memorized your introduction, to have scripted pageant paddy answers to questions such as who is your role model or what is your 5 year plan. And in fact, I've even seen some pageant contestants sitting with their notebooks open, going through their answers that they have prepared beforehand for certain questions backstage at pageants. And that's the worst thing you could be doing. When you over rehearse and when you over prepare, you take away the natural performance that would come to you. It takes away from your personality and it makes you a lot less spontaneous. And these days, it's more about your spontaneity. It's more about how witty you are, if you can bring in a sense of humor, and how well you can tell personal stories rather than how good of a pre formulated answer can you give. Speaking of over rehearsing, the third reason you could possibly not be winning the title is because you're not listening. The mistake of not listening most frequently happens inside the pageant interview room, which decides most of the score in a beauty pageant. When you over prepare, you also tend to predict what the possible questions are going to be. I want each and every single pageant aspirant to walk into the interview room as a blank slate. When you walk in with absolutely no expectations, you also train your mind to be more open to go in any possible direction with the given questions. What I see happening with a lot of pageant aspirants is because they've gone through the same rehearsed set of pageant questions and answers, is that even if the question is about a completely different topic, or mostly even if the question was about what would you do in a certain situation, or why is this problem so serious, why would you want to talk about it with a world leader, because they have prepared from question banks, the mistake that they end up making is they end up answering one of the questions which was pretty much similar and sounded familiar to the question that the judge is asking at that moment. And because of that over preparation, their mind is not being able to see what's happening in the present moment. You end up not listening because you've gone in with a very narrow mindset and you're expecting a certain set of questions, and you're also very prepared with this is what I'm going to be telling them, this is what I need them to know about. And while we do create that strategy while working with pageant clients, it is extremely crucial that you are open to new conversations in that pageant interview room so that you don't sound like someone who has 3 points that she's trying to make every conversation that she gets to have. The fourth reason, which is quite important, is you're doing it for just you. One of the common reasons that pageant aspirants are often not winning the title is because their purpose for the pageant platform is just not big enough. And I like to clearly explain the difference between your reason for competing in a pageant and your purpose in a pageant. Those are two extremely different things. Your purpose is about more than you. It's about what are you going to do as a responsible citizen once you have the platform, and it has to be doing good for someone else. I love how Miss Supranational Philippines 2023 Pauline had spoken about community growth being so important, and it's only when we all grow together and move forward together that real change is possible. And these are the type of statements and the essence of a pageant contestant that judges are looking for. And at this point, you might be thinking, but I do talk about my advocacy. I do talk about my Beauty with a Purpose project if you're going for a national pageant that leads to Miss World. You might be doing that, but who does it benefit? I was in a session the other day where this, in fact, came to light, where even while formulating projects and building advocacies, a lot of contestants are thinking about how they are going to benefit from the project, which is essential and strategic. But at the same time, does it benefit your target audience? Does it actually make impact? And was it even a real problem that needed a solution? And it's these aspects that can seep through your performance. It can sometimes showcase in an answer that you're giving, and the judges can tell that your reasons for winning the title are just not authentic enough or not in alignment with the organization's vision and what the brand wants to do in the coming year. And the last reason that you could probably not be winning the title, and this one is going to sound pretty controversial, is maybe you're following the rules a little too much. Yes, pageant organizations have their own certain set of rules, but they also expect smart candidates to read between the lines and have their own flexibility of sorts. One example that I can give you here is, as a new pageant aspirant, you might think that when they ask you to come with no makeup, you might be following that rule to a T and go with no makeup, but that's not actually what they meant. Certain pageant organizations also come with a certain set of rules when it comes to makeup and hair, and they will share those references. In fact, even outfit inspiration lookbooks with you before the competition. But strategic pageant girls who are taking this seriously and about to win the competition are using that as reference and leaving it at just that. And they're not trying to copy the inspiration that was given to them. They have their own personality, They're trying to make a statement through their wardrobe, through their makeup and their hair. And yes, sometimes it takes experience to learn over time what rules can be broken and what rules can be slightly flexible and modified to your advantage. Think of the last pageant that you competed at. Was the girl who ended up winning following every single rule to the T? Or was she going out of her way and also taking up opportunities and doing tasks and being involved in events that weren't a part of the criteria, that wasn't written down anywhere? Maybe that's why she ended up winning, because she was willing to bend the rules when it was needed and when it was really smart. And so, those are 5 reasons that you are possibly not winning your pageant. I hope that this video helped you reflect back on your performances and let me know in the comment section below if any of the reasons felt like, oh, this is what I'm doing. That's what was wrong with my performance. Also, make sure to check the link in the description box to go through 10 more reasons why you could possibly not be winning your pageant. And also, you can find the link to book a coaching session with me. I hope you guys found this video super helpful, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye.